Hey everybody, Rosematter here. Welcome to part 11 of my Tsukihime playthrough. The last episode, we started the Ciel route, and as it usually goes when you start a new visual novel route, it tends to be pretty similar from when you initially played, and then it eventually branches out a couple of chapters in, but already we're seeing a bit of a diversion. So we did have, the thing where Shiki kills Arcuid, but it's different this time in that this time Ciel finds Shiki after he's done the deed and brings him back to her place. And at the very end, we saw her getting ready, I assume, to like go out at night and look for the vampires. We saw like these weird kind of markings on her body. But other than that, it's been pretty much the same. Now, my question is, like, how differently are we going to branch from the Arcuid route? Are we going to side with Ciel? Because we know that Ciel and Arcuid are kind of like mortal enemies. So are we going to basically be antagonistic to Arcuid this time? Is she going to be angry at us not only for killing her, but also for siding with a vampire killer? I think that'd be really cool after being so close to Arcuid in the last episode to have her maybe be like an enemy of ours, or maybe she's just going to be more of a hesitant teammate, like all three of us working together, but there's going to be some tension between us. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into part 2 and see what happens next. The sunlight streaming through the window wakes me. Maybe the rain stopped. I can't hear it anymore. It seems the sky outside is cloudy. The sunlight isn't what you could call bright. Eh? I look around. This is obviously not my room. Oh, good morning. Did you sleep well last night, Tohno-kun? Ah, I remember now. This is Senpai's room. I borrowed her bed for the night. Oh, yeah, good morning, Senpai. Becoming extremely embarrassed, I hop off the bed. Sorry about yesterday. I caused you all sorts of trouble, and... Yes, you owe me one, Senpai replies with a smile. How do I put this? She seems very mature. Anyhow, thanks. I'll be going home now. Oh, really? It's barely 6 o'clock, Tohno-kun. Yes, but I didn't get permission to stay the night away from home yesterday, so if I don't hurry back to the mansion, there's no telling what Akiha will say. Ah, your little sister. Well, I've already called her, so it should be okay. Senpai delivers her earth-shattering statement with a casual... It's funny because in the previous routes, they can't stand each other from what it seems like. I don't know if Akiha knows. I can't remember if Akiha, like, knows who Ciel is, but yeah, they don't seem to get along. Wait, you called my house, Senpai? Yes, I thought it wouldn't be right if I didn't contact them about you staying over. Is that a problem? What? I'm at a loss for words. Ciel-senpai calling my house means a girl is called my house saying, Tohno-kun staying over at my place. That's, well... Yes, it's a problem. A big problem. If Akiha had been the one who picked up the phone, she's going to think I'm some kind of playboy. Given the severity of the Tohno household, I don't even want to imagine what would happen if she found out about that sort of thing. Tohno-kun, did you really hate staying at my house that much? Oh, no, that's not it. It's just that my house is really strict. It's definitely not because I don't like you, Senpai. Flustered, I try to explain the misunderstanding. Senpai closes her eyes sadly. Is it because I caused her so much trouble last night? I feel so bad when I see her make an expression like that. I'm telling you, that's not it. I'm really grateful to you, Senpai. I'm feeling much better now. And if you hadn't been there for me last night, I don't know what would have happened to me. Yes, you're right. You look like you're back to normal now. I don't know what happened last night, but I'm glad you're feeling better. Suddenly, Senpai gives the biggest smile anyone could possibly give. Eh? I was just joking. Even I wouldn't directly call your house. I asked Inui-kun to call your house and tell them you were staying with him last night. There should be no problem with that, right? Yeah, that should be no problem, but it was kind of a mean joke, Senpai. I thought my heart was going to stop. Yeah, I'm actually pretty mean. Pick on the ones you like, right? Eh? Ones you like? Then that means... But it's true, you should go home early. Please hold on for a second. Senpai rummages around in her drawers for something. Here you go, Tohno-kun. It's a little gift for you. Saying that, Senpai hands me an odd-looking ring. A little gift. What is it, Senpai? It's a protective charm. You seem to be dangerously spaced out a lot, so please hold on to it. Yeah, I'll take anything that's given to me, but alright, I'll take good care of it. Accepting the ring, I put it in my pocket. Alright, I'll see you at school. Senpai sees me off with a smile, but that smile is one I might never see again. The woman I killed might be found already, and police might already be at the mansion. I'm very curious about how they're going to deal with the Arcuate thing. I'm assuming she's just going to come back, but maybe she's going to see me as like a true, especially if I'm working with Ciel, maybe she's going to see me as someone that she has to fight. So maybe like she's going to be kind of my antagonist in this one. That'd be interesting. But I can't run away from it. All I can do is thank Senpai and return to the Tohno mansion. To say the results first, the mansion is as it always was. Ah, welcome home, Shiki-san. As I enter the lobby, Kohaku-san greets me with a smile. Yeah, I'm home. Kohaku-san? Oh, do you want breakfast? I'll have it ready soon, so please wait in the sitting room. Akiya-sama just finished hers. Kohaku-san patters off towards the sitting room. It's too peaceful. Maybe they haven't found the body yet. For now, I head towards my own room to change. Hisui is in my room when I return. Good morning, Shiki-sama. It seems you've returned. Yeah, just now. Listen, Hisui, do I have a spare uniform? The one I'm wearing now is soaked from yesterday's rain. I understand. I'll have one prepared immediately. Hisui bows and silently leaves the room. After changing into the uniform she brings me, I head towards the sitting room. A disappointed-looking Akiya is sitting on the sofa in the sitting room. Oh, good morning, Nissan. It seems you've returned. Akiya's voice contains thorns filled with blame. Yeah, good morning. You look kinda grumpy this morning, Akiya. Yeah, I was unaware you spent the night elsewhere quite often. I'm more astounded than angry. Akiya glares at me. It's true I spent the night somewhere, so I can't argue. Well, I suppose there was no helping it if you weren't feeling well. The one called Inui-san is your friend from middle school, isn't he? Yeah. I see, so he was the one who called you. Suddenly, I feel uneasy. Just what did he say when he called my house? Besides, even if you had to leave school early, you could have just called me, and I would have sent a car to come pick you up. I don't know why you're so reserved, but you are the eldest son of the Tohno household, Nissan. Please, use everything at your disposal. Besides, your body is weaker than that of a normal person. Oh, yeah, I left school early yesterday. To collapse from anemia just by getting soaked from the rain? Are you not feeling well, Nissan? Shall I have the family doctor examine you and send you to and from school in a car from now on? I see. So that was the reason I was supposedly staying at Arahiko's house. It's nothing for you to worry about, Akiya. I go to the hospital once a month like I'm supposed to. Taking me to school by car is just going to dull my body even further. There's no need for you to be so sensitive about my body, though I am glad you're worried about me. That's not true. I'm not worried about you at all, Nissan. Akiya subtly avoids looking at me. Shiki-san, it's ready. I can hear Kohaku-san's voice from the dining room. Right, so I'm gonna go get some grub. Oh, Nissan, please refrain from talking in such an unrefined manner. Akiya shoots me a sharp glare. Ah, you're acting normally again. That's how you should be, Akiya. You don't have to worry about me, so just relax. You are persistent. I'm not worried about you, Nissan. Akiya quickly looks away. Looking at her with a faint smile, I go to the dining room. Please take care. Saying the same thing as she always does, she continues to stare at me. Shiki-sama, what happened to you last night? Nothing in particular. I collapsed from anemia when it started to rain on me. I'll be careful from now on. I'm not placing any blame on you, Shiki-sama, but you look like you are pushing yourself this morning. Please take care along the way. I'm so interested about, like, what is the next interaction with Arcuate going to be? It'd be wild if she just straight up died this time and she just never showed up again. Hisui makes a deep bow and sees me off. Oh man, I tried to act as normally as I could, and although I didn't give myself away to Akiha and Kohaku-san, it did seem to have worked on Hisui. I wonder if Hisui's worried about me. It's hard to tell when she looks so disinterested all the time. Today might be my last day of school anyway. I'll try to spend it as a— oh, right, because he thinks he's going to prison. I was like, wait, what? I'll try to spend it as I always do, so I won't have any regrets. No matter how I feel, the morning is always the same. Okay, so is she going to be waiting for me? Is Arcade going to be waiting for me like she was last time, outside the school? As I approach the school, I begin to catch sight of more and more students in uniform. It's Saturday, right before the day off. My footsteps falter as I think about how this may be my last school day ever. But still, as calmly as I can, I walk along the road that's become so familiar to me over the past 2 years. It's only a little way to the school once I pass this intersection. The light turns red and I stop in front of the crosswalk. The school fence is on the other side of it. Since it's a school path, the footpath is protected by a guardrail. Yep, the guardrail, right? She's sitting on it. Even now, the students in front of me are heading towards the school gate. There's no one but students from our school on the other side at this time of day. There should be no one but the students. But between the cars rushing by, I feel like I catch a glimpse of someone in white. There she is. What? She's there, dressed in white, with golden hair down to her shoulders, long, slender brows, and red eyes. I've seen her only once before, but there's no way I could mistake her for someone else. But that's impossible. I killed her myself yesterday, cutting her into pieces. The light turns green. The students around me walk towards the other side. I'm the only one amongst them who stands there, stunned. She sits on the guardrail, her legs swinging idly, as if she were waiting for someone. I can't tell how long she's been waiting, but her expression isn't a grim one. Who is she waiting for? She fidgets restlessly, as if she were waiting for her lover. Not on this one, not this playthrough. Sorry, Arca, that was last playthrough, you're my lover. This one, it's Ciel. I have a bad feeling about this. The girl in white looks over in my direction. It's probably nothing more than a coincidence. She's just a stranger who looks like her. She must be waiting for someone else. If not, then this moment surely must be a bad dream too. After all, I've completely and utterly killed her with my own hands. But she's looking this way and smiling, looking very satisfied at having found the person who killed her. Her smile seems to say, "You've finally come." Giving a familiar wave and a smile, she hops off the guardrail. Fluttering her hair, she heads towards me. Don't come. This is a bad dream. The light turns red. Don't come near me. She doesn't even look like she cares, walking straight across the streets while the cars pass by. There's only a few meters between us. I'm telling you not to come. The reality before my eyes does not change, even when I scream out. Screaming in a voice even I don't understand. I run from the girl in white. I run with all my strength, with no regard to embarrassment or shame. I blast through the passers-by, running full speed across the asphalt. My breathing is wild, and my heart screams out. But still, I run. I feel like I'm going to go crazy if I don't. I look behind me. The girl in white is walking towards me. She's definitely following me. The girl I've killed is chasing me. That's more than enough reason for me to run. My heart feels like it's about to explode, but I ignore it and keep running. When I look back, the girl is still there. With those light footsteps, she follows me as I run away. My head droops down, my arms feel heavy. My legs feel like they're going to tear off. But despite that, I'm running with all my strength, and yet I can't get away from someone just walking after me. So I think this is probably all going to be pretty similar to like when we first met her. So I'm wondering when it's going to like branch off into new scenes. My breathing is out of control. I think I've already run several kilometers, but even so, when I look back, she's always there, walking towards me. Naturally, like she's taking a stroll, she follows right behind me. It's not funny, but I begin to laugh. I can't stop laughing, but even so, I run. My body complains that I'll die if I run anymore, but I keep running. The reason is simple. If she catches me, she'll kill me for sure. I ask myself what I base that on, trying to shake it off as mere imagination. But even as I try to console myself, I am the one who knows best it's true. There's no reason, no basis, no evidence. I already know that if she catches up to me, I'll be killed. Pathetically, I collapse to the ground. I fall forwards not because I tripped, but because I simply can't move my body a single step further. Lying there collapsed, I somehow managed to crawl my way to the wall. I try to pull myself up against the wall, but it's no good. My knees lose their strength as I try to rise, and I collapse back down. My body won't move anymore. I look up as I breathe. It hurts. I don't have enough oxygen. I can't think properly because of it. I can't even tell what I'm doing anymore. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why? I don't even know why the girl I've killed is alive. Unmistakably, I've utterly and completely killed her in the most final way imaginable. So why? How could she be waiting for me in front of my school, smiling? I'm sure I killed her. That's right. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her, so why? Oh, is the chase over already? With light footsteps, she comes into the alley, shrugging her shoulders in disappointment. Hello, you really gave me some trouble yesterday. With a warm smile, she comes into the alley. I've got to run away. So thinking, I retreat, only to hit my head against a concrete wall. The chase is already over, right? This is a dead end, after all. There's no need to worry about anyone coming along or interfering. She smiles, looking very happy. Panicking, I look around at my surroundings. A desolate alley. I'm disgusted at how stupid I am. To run away here is like asking her to kill me. It's been a long time, 18 hours since then. I finally found you. She takes another step into the alley. You? What? I definitely... Yes, I'm the girl you killed yesterday. I'm glad you remember. That's gotta be a lie. There's no way that could happen. Don't be ridiculous. Dead people can't be alive. That's true, but there's no need for you to be so surprised. I just revived, that's all. With that curt response, she takes another step, the sound of it reaching my ears. The distance between us is gradually decreasing. Revived? Stunned, I repeat her phrase back to her. Revived? You mean some doctor saved her with some surgery? Don't be stupid. There's no way any human could revive from being cut apart like that. Yeah, then again, I'm not human. Huh? Her words are so simple, there's no way I could have misinterpreted them. I'm not human. That's what the girl in front of me said. You're not human? Jeez, isn't that obvious? Do you think there's a human being out there who could revive after being cut up into pieces? There's no way a human like that could exist. Something like that is just a monster who looks human. Something that revives even when killed. Something that death is irrelevant to. Something that quickly returns to normal and starts moving even after being cut to pieces isn't something you could call human. No way. That seems to be the girl right before my eyes. I try to laugh, but my throat is dry, so I can't. What the hell is that? It's not exactly a funny story. Besides, there's too many things in the story that aren't funny. Because definitely, if she's not human, it explains why she's alive even after I've killed her. I start to calm down. This is a situation where I've got to observe everything and think it over. You said you're not human, so what are you? Me? I'm called a vampire. To put it in your terms, I'm a monster who lives off human blood. That's good. Vampire is at least something I can understand. I see. You're a vampire. She smiles in satisfaction to indicate her assent. What a crazy reply. I've heard that vampires can't walk around during daytime, but I guess that's a trivial matter right now. So, what does this monster want from me? For some reason, she recoils as if surprised. After a moment, she puts her hands on her hips and looks at me, irritated. Have you forgotten what you did to me yesterday? Even though you didn't know me, you cut me apart the moment we met. You've got to be pretty used to this to ask me what I want with you now. She looks more disgusted than angry. But right now, that's how I feel too. Because someone I've killed is complaining to me about me killing her. Hey, are you listening, murderer? Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry, can you shut up for a minute? I'm reflecting on how unlucky this is, even for me. Sheesh. I have the worst luck. There was a girl I wanted to kill for no reason, and I killed her on pure impulse. I agonized over it in deep despair, and even though I firmly decided to atone for my sins, the one I killed appears out of nowhere and says she isn't even human. Okay, so now we're gonna skip. This is where they encounter the dog, so we'll go ahead and skip that. Okay, so this is interesting. I can't remember if in the last one I chose to cooperate or not, but apparently we're supposed to say I won't cooperate. There's no way I can help her. I was almost killed by just that black dog. If I go with her, I'll die for sure. I can't do something like that. It'd be suicide. I managed to glare at her and reply, trembling. She looks at me with displeasure. Suicide? Why? With your killing abilities, I think you have nothing to fear. That was different. I'm sorry, but I'm just a normal student, not some kind of monster like a vampire. A normal student can't cooperate with a person like you. Oh? Do normal students usually cut up girls they don't even know? Ah, I feel weakened by her comment. But that was special. I've never felt that way before, and I've lived a normal life. Ah, enough. Shut up. Ooh, okay, this is different, right? The pupils in those red eyes open up. Immediately, the feeling she exudes changes. The chilling feeling is unbelievable. I think my heart might stop beating from just her glare alone. Don't get me wrong, you killed me. I'm saving you, and not pulling your head off right now just because you might be useful. My neck feels numb, like someone is slowly sinking a blade into it. My throat, which has been so hot a moment ago, is rapidly growing colder. The air I breathe feels heavy, as if the very air around it is freezing. I feel a cramped sensation that almost makes me collapse. An oppressive feeling full of despair, like the world itself were glaring at me. All that feeling of weight condenses and hammers into my brain like a bullet. Everything goes white, a disgusting feeling. Pain, like someone opened a hole in my skull and is pouring in alcohol. That's the only way to describe the sensation. Gah, I can't even cry out. The sounds leaking from my mouth are no longer human speech. My heart is breaking. My memories are crumbling. She's only glaring at me, but it feels like she's reaching into my skull and kneading my brain with her bare hands. If this continues, I'm going to be empty. Stop it. That's all I can say before I lose my sanity. Suddenly, the invasive feeling inside my head disappears. Ugh. Released from the oppressive aura, I hug myself. I'm still alive. I'm not dead. I'm still alive and breathing. I feel like I'm about to cry. To feel such deep emotion at such a simple thing is something I hadn't experienced until now. How about it? Maybe now you understand your position a little better. You think I can understand that? All I could do is look up, tremble, and grit my teeth. There's only two choices. You cooperate with me, or you don't. Simple, isn't it? All I'm asking you is whether you want to live or die. Yeah, definitely this feels like it's going to be like, we're still going to team up, but it's not, it's going to be more of an antagonistic, it's not going to be quite so friendly as it was last time. My voice doesn't work properly. Only my basic survival instincts help me avoid death by nodding in reply. Alright, then our contract is established. Where did all the anger from just a moment ago disappear to? Speaking in a cheerful tone, she extends her hand to me. I guess I can finally introduce myself now. I'm Arcuid. My last name's really long, so just Arcuid's fine for now. I'm a true ancestor type vampire. How about you? I heave a heavy sigh at her unprecedented introduction. It's a sigh of resignation. Evidence I've decided to accept this nonsensical situation. I'm Tohno Shiki. Sadly, I'm just your everyday student. Said it before, but I'm really not going to be much use. Grasping her Arcuid's hand, I stand up. She takes a long, hard look at me, then offers me her hand again. Nice to meet you, Shiki. I'll have you take responsibility for killing me. Arcuid grins as she extends her left hand. There are all sorts of responsibilities in this world, but this is probably the first and last time someone takes responsibility by helping someone they've killed. Damn it. Do whatever you want, but there's nothing else I can do. I grudgingly extend my left hand and shake hands with the woman in white, claiming to be a vampire. As we walk out of the back alley, she, Arcuid, knits her eyebrows and gives me a suspicious look. Hey, Shiki, are you a Christian by any chance? Whoa, okay. I mean, I have an idea of why she's asking because of the whole, you know, like, Ciel is working with the church, but it's like, man, what an icebreaker, huh? I have no idea what she's talking about. Chris Chan? Oh, we don't talk about Chris Chan. Oh my god. I don't know if that was intentional or not. That's hilarious. What's with that question all of a sudden? I don't know any girl who's got a name like that. Oh, right, Chris Chan. Yeah, okay, I can see. Because I'm been on the internet for a long time, when I hear Chris Chan, my brain goes somewhere else. I see, then I must have misunderstood. After seeming to have made a decision, she turns towards the office district. Okay, let's go. We've got to find a safe place for now. Arcuid begins walking. Okay? There's no way I can back out now. Sighing, I follow after her. Alright, so now we're gonna skip this. Okay, so yeah, this feels very different because I feel like it's like I can't leave her alone was what I picked last time, but it's saying that I should be escaping. So this playthrough seems to be me just trying to get away from Arcuit as much as possible and not helping her. Okay, so we're skip but now we're gonna go back to the hotel. And skip. And oh wow, we're skipping a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is the part where they're at the hotel and Dervensker, whatever his name is, it comes and attacks us. So we want to check what's going to be happening outside. Man, I am just flying through the days. Like, this is crazy. It's episode 2 of the Ciel route, and I'm already, like, going to be finishing up day 3 so quickly. All right. All right. I've decided what to do from the very beginning. Taking the knife out of my pocket, I walk up to the door. Shiki, I'm going to go check things out. Don't leave the room until I come back. Step out into the hallway, shaking off Arcuit's look that she wants to say something. No one is in the hallway. I couldn't hear from inside, but the hallway is noisy. It's not that this floor is noisy. Rather, the noise is coming from beneath my feet. There's some kind of ruckus on the floor below. I can hear the noises of many people talking. That's odd. It's just past 4 in the morning. Even under the assumption some people have woken up early, it's not normal for this many people to be up at this hour. Doesn't look strange so far. I walk down the hallway. The noise from downstairs is like the sound of ocean waves. Noisy, and yet so very solitary and inactive. My fingers gripping the knife feel numb. A chill runs over the back of my neck. There's something near my temple. Pain emerges from the back of my eyes. Enduring it, I walk down the hallway. It hurts. My eyes hurt. My head grows heavy, and I feel a drifting sensation, like I'm about to collapse right here. Yeah, I know what this is. This is the feeling I get right before I collapse from anemia. It hurts. It hurts. Unable to withstand it any longer, I remove my glasses. There are 2 elevators. One is stopped on the 1st floor, the other on the 5th. There is an unpleasant feeling in the air, a suffocating, tense sensation. I push the button to call the elevator. I just want to know what's going on downstairs for now. The elevator rises. 6th floor. 7th floor. 8th floor. 9th floor. Damn it, what's up with it? The elevator is awfully slow. Something, a shapeless, shadow-like premonition of something fatally irrevocable clings to me. 10th floor. Just one more floor until the elevator reaches this one. Hurry up. My breath catches. I realize all the noise I heard from below is now gone. With a ridiculous electronic ding, the elevator arrives. The door opens. There's no one inside. The interior of the narrow steel box is surprisingly clean and tidy. I enter and press the button for the 10th floor. With a heavy noise, the elevator descends. Just one floor down, but it feels awfully far. The current floor display shifts to show the 10th floor. Finally, suddenly, the world is engulfed in darkness. Darkness. Total darkness. Pitch black, utterly without light. And that, all I can see is the faint glimmer of the lines of death. Why? My breath freezes in my throat. From all around, something, some kind of rustling sound, the sound of insects crawling about, could be heard. Rustle, 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 rustle. I'm about to cry out, but I hold back my scream. First, got to examine the situation, just like Sensei taught me long ago, and then think carefully. Taking a huge breath, I manage to calm my thoughts. I see, a blackout. But a hotel like this should have a backup generator for occasions like this. Something must be wrong with the cables if even that's not working. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Gripping the knife, I tense up. The sound of the crawling insects is coming from around the elevator. It feels like there are hundreds of giant cockroaches clinging to the outside of the elevator. There's no point in staying here. The display stopped when the 10th floor was lit. Then it means if I open the door, I should be at the 10th floor. I guess I'll cut it, I whisper to myself. Thrusting the knife into the only line I can see, I cut apart the door of the elevator. The instant the door opens, I'm enveloped by a suffocating stench. The 10th floor is filled with it. It's so thick that just breathing it is enough to clog my airways. But even so, if I were to take a step outside, I'd be on the 10th floor's hallway. In the distance, there's the faint glow of the lamp marking the fire escape. Apart from that, the world is painted over in darkness. I take a step outside. Is anyone... I'm about to say there, but I stop. I don't quite know why, but I feel as though it'd be a bad idea to raise my voice. I take another step. Slowly, I enter the hallway. The corridor reeks of the terrible smell. A raw smell. The smell of beasts. That, and a grinding sound coming from somewhere. There's been a stinging pain in my neck for a while now. Darkness is frightening. The silence is frightening. To find out what happened here is more frightening than anything else. The pain from the back of my neck running to the top of my spine holds back my nervousness. The throbbing pain is the price of my desperate attempts to repress the urge to just scream and flee. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Grind, grind, grind. Scratch, scratch, scratch. My breathing goes wild. My body's drenched in sweat. Knife in hand. I'm unable to take another step. I have a feeling that if I were to move even a little, I'd see something unimaginably horrible. Pants, pants. But I'll really be in trouble if I don't get back upstairs. To stay on this floor is worse. It feels like each second passing is grinding a year off my life. That's how fast I feel death closing in on me. My breath comes quicker and heavier. Fortunately, I can see where the fire escape is thanks to the lamp. It's down the end of the hallway. If I could reach that green emergency light, I can go back upstairs. Gripping the knife, I set off down the dark hallway. Splash! I could hear something from beneath my feet. I guess the hallway is soaked in water. In addition, my feet keep bumping into things as I walk. Even so, I stay silent. Bearing with the terrible stench smothering me, I head for the emergency light. Only a few more meters to go. Then, I see something squirming beneath the emergency light. Eh? I break my silence. A squishing, lukewarm sound. A dry, grinding sound. The wild, panting breath of beasts. What? Under the green light of the fire escape, all sorts of animals are swarming around some human-shaped object. I can't tell what sort of animals are eating it. The hallway is dark and the emergency light is too weak. That's why all I can gather is this image. Numerous cockroaches are devouring the human corpse while emitting a laughing, buzzing sound. That's the only way I can make sense of this nightmare. Rustle. There's a noise coming from the direction of the elevator. I turn around. Perhaps it's because my eyes have adjusted to the darkness, or maybe it's thanks to light from the fire escape. But I now see exactly what sort of condition the hallway I just passed through is in. The hallway is a sea of red. Lying around within that sea are human arms and legs. The soaked hallway, scraggly, hard objects which I felt on my legs. It must have been what I was stepping on. My mind goes blank. The hallway is red only on the floor. Clinging to the ceiling and walls are all sorts of black things. It's not because there are no lights that they look black. They are black to begin with. They don't seem to have any solid shape, sticking to the ceiling and walls like some sort of liquid. But I know they're animals from the eyes. The glinting eyes of the many beast-like forms are trained on me, the only surviving human. Ugh. I managed to suppress my scream. The beasts are staring at me intently. They hold their breath, waiting to assault me the moment I scream out. I manage to regulate my ragged breathing. I can feel it, awfully so that the moment I cry out, they'll all attack me at once. None of the creatures on the wall possess the same eyes. It's almost ridiculous to see even shark-like eyes clinging to the wall. I order my feet to move, but they won't budge an inch. I can't move. My feet will not move after having seen a world like this. Grind, grind, grind. The noise from beneath the emergency lights grows smaller. These beasts are probably finishing off the corpse. My breath catches. The rustling draws closer. It seems that the creatures have found their next prey called Tohno Shiki. But my legs would not move. This world is too different. My mind doesn't operate properly. I've made a mistake. I shouldn't have come to this floor. Then I can hear a terribly familiar sound, the very normal sound of human footsteps. A completely normal, common-sense sound from the world I lived in until a moment ago. Ah! My numbed mind infuses strength into my paralyzed legs. I run. Kicking up soaked blood in the hallway, I dash towards the emergency light. Run. I have to get away from this place as fast as possible. But that was a mistake. Reacting to my dash, the black things clinging to the wall and ceilings crash after me like a wave. I dash towards the stairs with everything I have, but the black wave is so many times faster than I am, and in an instant my body is not consumed. Squeak, squeak. With a cry, the black wave halts before my eyes. I don't get it. I don't get it, but this is probably my last chance. I run toward the stairs. Instead of running towards me, the beasts beneath the emergency light are heading towards the elevator I was just in, towards the sound of footsteps. Ahead of the animals, I can hear what sounds like a kitchen knife slicing vegetables. So that is that Ciel? Or is that Arcuid? I don't know. It wouldn't be Arcuid because she doesn't use a knife. Something, a human silhouette, is slashing the black animals. But I don't have time to discern its identity. Using my hands and feet, I rush up the fire stairs like a dog. I climb back up to the 11th floor. The surroundings are still pitch black. But here, there's no trace of that stench, the raw stench of beasts, blood, and entrails. I manage to get up, and tracing along the wall, I walk back towards Arcuid's room. The lights come back on. The floor is still as it was before. The only thing that's different is me, splattered here and there in human blood. My pants are completely red, as if they'd been crimson to begin with. Red flecks are all over me, my arm and chest, even my face. So, that's how it was. I should have realized it when I was in front of the elevator, the moment the noises from downstairs ceased. At that point, there was no longer anyone else still alive. What was that? What was that just now? A sea of blood. If the floor below this one was like that, what were the other floors like? What was the scene of carnage? What was that scene of hell? This, and that, and this, and that. All of it has been the work of the enemy Arcuid was talking about? My teeth grind together. They clench together so tightly it feels like they're going to shatter. My body's still trembling. My consciousness is still numb. But more than all of that, I can't accept that spectacle. What was that just then? What, all of those incomprehensible animals devoured all the guests staying on the lower floors? Had they all been killed and eaten? One-sidedly, pointlessly killed without a chance to argue, escape, or even call for help? You gotta be kidding me. Clench the knife tightly, and then, with a cheerful electronic ding, the elevator which stopped on the 10th floor reaches this one. I turn back to face the elevator, now about 10 meters down the hall. The door opens. Within are 2 black dogs. I see. You guys came after me. I grip the knife with both hands. The black dogs burst out from the elevator. They break into a run, of course, toward me, the last prey. The black dogs are coming for me. On their bodies, I can see an infinite number of lines, and on their foreheads, the point of death. Without hesitating, first, I stab the dog that leaps at me in the forehead. The black dog falls to the floor without even giving a scream. It melts into a black liquid. After that, the other black dog bounds towards me. It leaps. Its speed belies all human comparison. It doesn't even take 2 seconds to cover the 10 meters down the hallway. I line up the knife again, but not quickly enough. The black dog opens his mouth. That mouth is filled with fangs so many times sharper than the knife I have, and they're aimed straight at my throat. Accurate and fast. The instant I realize they're drawing upon me, the fangs bite into my throat with a crunch. I die. Game over, but that's not right. I can't be killed by something like this, and I refuse to die. This tragedy would not cause me to hesitate. A hot summer's day, it happened long ago, 8 years ago. I've seen something even more terrible. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the black dog biting into my neck. My arm moved just before the black dog ripped through my throat. It was done rather perfectly, even for myself, like a machine whose sole function is to cut. I plunged the knife into the dog's forehead without any useless or wasted movement, because that is where the first dog's point was. Normally, even if the brain is destroyed, the muscles try to execute the commands they've received from the brain. The black dog would have probably ripped through my throat, even if I'd simply pierced its head. Well, normally that would happen. But the black dog is dead. Death is a complete stoppage. At the point when I killed it, it lost every form of validity. The second black dog also collapses onto the floor. It becomes a black stain on the hotel's hallway. I'm tired. The thump. I lean my back against the wall and look up at the ceiling. My head hurts. The world becomes a patchwork. And here and there I can see the black points of death. My body is freezing, but my mind is burning feverishly. Right beside me lies the corpse of the 2 black dogs. One of my arms is covered in blood. The other clutches a red knife. Also, there are a quite uncountable number of dead bodies downstairs. All I can do is laugh, because this isn't real. There's no way this could be real. At what point did I, with my eyes wide open, start seeing a nightmare? Ding dong. Eh? A terribly out-of-place cheerful sound rings out. Damn it, what's with this headache? I stand up, enduring the pain in my head, and look toward the sound. Elevator? It seems the sound is the other elevator coming up. The door opens. Inside stands a man wearing a black coat. The headache worsens. Yes, I've seen him before. I'm sure I've seen that man before. Silently, he walks towards me. I ready my knife as I glare at him. But he doesn't react at all as he walks towards me. It's as if he doesn't notice me at all. The distance between us shrinks. Just a little more. When there is barely 1 meter between us, the man finally seems to notice me. Those bloodshot eyes. The instant I see those eyes, which no human should possess, I lose all freedom to move my body. I thought I killed everyone, but it seems that there's still someone left. The man turns and looks at the corpses of the 2 black dogs. You pieces of filth. You can't even take care of a scrap of meat. You're unworthy to be a part of my body. The man voices his displeasure as he raises his hand. His coat lifts like a mantle. Something's odd. With a splash, the black dog's remains liquefy and disappear into the man's coat. I can't even scream. Below the man's coat is pure darkness without even the traces of an outline. All that exists there is a mud-like darkness. This is dangerous. This guy is just too dangerous. My instincts sound the alarm wildly in my head, but I can't even lift a finger. The man in the black coat approaches me. It's not good if I just stay here. The unstopping headache grows to an unbearable level, telling me this place is dangerous. Whatever the means, if I don't get out of here soon, I'm going to lose my life. But it's too late. The man is right before me. Those eyes aren't looking at me at all. Feed. He raises one of his arms. Below it lies a chaotic darkness. From there, something huge appears. Whomp. The sound of wind. That which has appeared from below the man's coat is a crocodile's mouth, easily large enough to swallow a man whole. My consciousness bursts. In a panic, I slash at the crocodile's mouth, but it's a futile act. There's a squishing sound. I fall onto the floor. My throat is broken. I'm not breathing. I'm throwing up blood. Blood sprays from my throat in time with the beating of my heart. My consciousness is splitting. The pain is obliterating my thoughts. Looking, I see that the right side of my stomach is basically non-existent. Shiki, I can hear a voice, but I can't hear it very well. Not very impressive for a guard dog of yours. The man's voice. I can't believe a vampire named Chaos would play such trivial games. It's like a poorly scripted nightmare. Revensker Chaos. Arcuid's voice. I feel the same way. To catch one of the surviving true ancestors. I never dreamed I'd be part of such a foolish festival. This is a nightmare for me, too. The man's deep voice. But what is the meaning of this? I've heard the previous executor could not even scratch you. What kind of a mistake is this? Right now your presence is exceedingly weak, even weaker than a mere member of the dead. Were you attacked by the church before I arrived? Arcuid Brunstood. I can't hear Arcuid's voice. It's difficult to understand. There are only a limited number of conceptual weapons capable of harming you. The only people in possession of those are the church's assassins. And I don't think the burial agency would dispatch anyone this far east. Either way, this is most fortunate for me. I shall not ask why you've been weakened. All I'm going to do is claim your head while I have a chance of winning. The sound of footsteps. It seems despite having said he was going to claim her head, the man in the black coat is now leaving for the elevator. I don't understand. It's just so hot. My consciousness blurs and fades. Oh, are you awake? Arcuate? I open my half-lidded eyes. Arcuate's there in front of me. It appears we're in the hotel hallway. How do you feel? I think I've managed to close the wound, but I suppose it still hurts. Close the wound? It's not possible. The injury I'd received from that thing wasn't even what you could call a wound. It took half my torso away with it. It's odd enough I'm still alive, but for the wound to have closed, that would be practically miraculous. Huh? How come I'm still alive? I get up and check my body. There isn't any pain. The right side of my stomach is back to as it was before, though it does seem rather black and blubbery. What? What did you say? What is this? I point towards the soft blubbery thing on my stomach. It's true that there's no pain and that I'm feeling a surge of strength there, but I have the feeling I saw something similar just a moment ago. I hope it's just my imagination. Yeah, that? It's a familiar Vensker was using to reinforce his body. You killed it when you got it, or when it got you, right? It was still alive, so I decided to use it to replace your damaged parts. I don't think this happened in the last one, did it? Does that mean that I have that familiar? Can I use it now, or is it just part of me? Familiar. So you mean the crocodile that came out from the man's coat? That's right. Isn't that great, Shiki? It's just that part, but you've powered up. There we go, I'll just take different parts of animals and just stick them on me and I become stronger. Arcuate gives a genuinely happy laugh. For me, of course, this is no laughing matter. What the heck have you done? What were you thinking, attaching weird stuff to somebody's body like that without even asking? What do you mean? I helped you, didn't I? I can't heal others, and you would have died if I'd left you like that. Or would you have rather died? Well, I'm thankful you helped me, but how am I supposed to live with a body like this from now on? Oh, don't worry about that. Once a familiar has been severed from its master, it's just a scrap of flesh. It's a bit unstable in form at the moment, but in time it'll begin to imitate the properties of your body, and you'll be back to normal. Plus, it'll be tougher than your body's ever been up until now, Shiki. If you study magic, you might even be able to return it to its original crocodile form. I can be half man, half crocodile. Arcuate says, sounding more envious than happy. Aren't you happy, Shiki? Now I wish you'd been wounded all over. You idiot! There's no way I could be happy with having something like this put onto me. No way. You're not happy, Shiki? Not one bit. Well, I suppose I can survive thanks to this, but I don't want to survive by this method ever again. Okay, I'll make do with a different method next time. I love that she's like, there will be a next time. Arcuate mumbles a response. Is she repenting? Or did she not learn anything? I seriously can't tell from a line like that. Well, it's alright. I was just shocked at first because it was so sudden, but you did help me, Arcuate. That's one thing I'm really thankful for. Really? That's an odd thing to thank me for, Shiki. I haven't done much. It's okay. I'm thankful, so be thanked. You don't have to feel bad about it. Yeah, you're right, I suppose. Arcuate seems lost in thought for some reason. Okay, anyhow, let's get out of here right now. With all the fuss that's been raised, it's gonna get inconvenient if we stay here any longer. All the fuss? Oh, that's right. None of the people in this hotel are alive anymore. I get up. My stomach doesn't hurt, but it feels as if my body belongs to someone else, and my mind swims. We'll head to my room for now, but Shiki? My mind sways. Arcuate's saying something, but I can't hear a thing. As if I'm falling into an abyss. I lose consciousness, this time for real. Alright, day 4. Thump. Right next to me, I feel someone's heartbeat. My eyes and ears don't seem to be working, but I know quickly that it's Arcuate. Thump. My own heartbeat. Maybe it's because of the terror I've never felt before, combined with being on the verge of death. Black. I feel like this thick blood, which was hiding somewhere, is now surging through my body. Thump. Even though Arcuate's body is cool to the touch, she has the definite warmth of a living being. Just being held like this calms my once raging heart. Thump. My heart beats stronger. Blood containing a strong will that seems to not be mine circulates through my body. But that's odd. How can blood that's not mine stay hidden within me for so long? Okay, sorry, I didn't mean if I missed something there. Investigators believe the cause of Takada Yuichi's motorcycle accident was a malfunction in the brake pedal, which occurred while he was descending a steep hill. Fortunately, no one was killed in the accident. A newscaster's voice flows from the speaker. That voice wakes me from my slumber. Where am I? A large room I don't recognize. Huh, this is... I take that back. I do recognize this place. I've been in this room once before. It's Arcuit's room. I'm lying in bed covered by sheets. It's about past noon. Arcuit doesn't seem to be anywhere in the room, and uninteresting news fills the air. Where did Arcuit go? And I sense someone's presence in the kitchen. In the kitchen? I get out of bed. Curious, I check my stomach for wounds, but it's perfectly healed. I touch it timidly. If I scratch it, I feel the scratch. If I pinch it, it hurts. It looks like that black blubbery thing has really become part of my body. Well, for now, I can't comment much on it. More importantly, I have to ask Arcuit about what happened in the hotel. Hey, Arcuit? Next on the news, a massive number of people went missing in the early morning hours at a hotel in southern Minamiya Shigerogi City. I stop dead in my tracks. My eyes become glued to the newscaster on the television set. 103 people staying at the hotel are still unaccounted for. Furthermore, bloodstains can be seen within the hotel, and the police are beginning to suspect they were involved in some sort of crime. What are you saying? Bloodstains? It wasn't something that small and cute. The newscaster reads off the script with a disinterested tone. The screen switches to the scene of the hotel I stayed at earlier, and then a listing of the names of the 103 missing people. Of course, neither my nor Arcuit's name are on the list. Furthermore, a large amount of wild animal hair was found within the hotel. It's presumed that the hair is connected with the suspect in some way. Some of the confirmed hair samples appear to be from a large breed of dog, wolves, and there was also evidence of a bear. There were numerous different hair samples found on the scene. Ridiculously, what appear to be shark bites were also reported from the scene. Click. I switch off the television set. 100 people. About 100 people back then. In just half an hour, they were all brutally killed. Bloodstains. Unaccounted for. How can you say that when you have that much information? I understand completely. Everyone staying in the hotel was killed by those incomprehensible beasts and devoured without a trace. Ugh. I resist the urge to throw up. I can't allow myself to vomit when I recall each and every event which occurred last night. Such a petty sympathy would set me lower than a filthy pig. For me, the only one who escaped death in that hotel, I won't allow anything else other than hatred for the one behind it all. 100 people. 100 people killed without even leaving their bodies behind. Only blood. The face of the man in the black coat surfaces in my memory. I don't know who he is, but it's no mistake to think he's behind everything that happened. Is my heart still numb? Right now, hatred wins out over fear and disgust. Or maybe, even the feelings whirling inside my chest are just another kind of fear. It's just ridiculous. I grit my teeth. I don't know if it's regret or fear or maybe an unpleasant revulsion, but just recalling the face of the man in the black coat makes me want to break something and irritates me. You're awake, Shiki. Arcuit pokes her head out of the kitchen. Oh, what is it? Making such a scary face. Did something happen? Arcuit speaks lightly as if nothing happened at all. The feelings which were welling forth inside me until just now disappear. Arcuit, shouldn't you be asleep right now? It's the middle of the day. That's true, but there's no way I could sleep while your condition wasn't stable. And I was thinking, I slept yesterday, so it's your turn today. Yeah, thanks. For some reason, I feel embarrassed and look away. Even though she's not human, she is really attractive. Anyway, Arcuit, why did I sleep in your room? That man in the black coat you called Nervensker. What exactly is he? You're here because I brought you here. Shiki, you lost consciousness in the hotel hallway. I remember that vaguely, but why did that Nervensker guy leave? He seemed to be saying something terrible. It's because the sun was rising. By the time you and I had left the hotel, it was above the horizon. You remember that vampires lose their power in sunlight, right? She speaks like she's talking about a third party, but she's a vampire herself. Arcuit, you say that, but doesn't that go for you too? That is, you said after I killed you, you became weak, right? Did your body recover a little? Yes, thanks to you. I'm feeling better than I was yesterday. I'm finally able to move my arms and legs around, too. Finally able to move her arms and legs around? Don't tell me. Wait a second, Arcuid. You mean you weren't able to move around fully before? Huh? I didn't mention it? Most of my nerves weren't connected yet, so I was moving them using my willpower rather than physically. She didn't say. I never thought about or even noticed her precarious state. I remember how Arcuid bit her lip regretfully when that blue crow arrived. I think at the time, she really must have been frustrated that she couldn't move no matter how much she wanted to. That's why she just stood there. I see. So how much have you recovered now? Let's see. I can at least move my body. My body will be fine by tonight, but I'm not able to gain back the power I used when I regenerated myself, so it doesn't change my weakened state. Her face is expressionless as she speaks these words. I see. Even if it's only just little by little, I'm glad you're getting better. I sigh from heartfelt relief. Oh? What's wrong, Shiki? And just a little earlier you were calling me a monster. Idiot, I still think you are, but that's something else. I just wanted to thank you for helping me. Eh? I saved you, Shiki? Arcuit's eyes widen in surprise. It seems she wasn't even aware of it. Yeah, I have a few problems with your method, but you did save me, so it's a little late, but thanks. If you weren't there, I would have joined that list of 103 names. Thanks. It wasn't really anything. I'm the reason you met Nervensker, so you don't have to feel like you owe me. Maybe, but the truth is that you saved me. Since you did, I want to thank you. But if I didn't make you watch over me, you never would have been involved in all that. Here comes the cyclical thinking. It's like, well, if I hadn't killed you, then none of this would have even happened in the first place. I'm the one messing up your everyday life. And why was it that he had to look after her? Because he had killed her. So wouldn't it be more appropriate for you to hate me rather than be indebted to me? Well, certainly I do think you're a big bother, but, you know, in the end, I think I have to take responsibility for my actions. A long, long time ago, someone taught me this. She said, whatever happens around me, I have to stick with things I started to the very end. I wonder if we're going to get more information about that woman that he met when he was a kid at the very beginning who, like, gave him the glasses in the first place. Like, is there a connection between Arcuid and this woman, and, like, where did she come from? Well, it seems quite natural. I am a supporter of that idea. Which is why I don't hate Arcuid. I just feel like I'm involved in something pretty bothersome. Oh, now that you mention it, I did say I needed a shield because you killed me, so I guess I don't have to apologize for involving you in such things. Right, the situation I'm in is my own fault. Your fault, huh? I think you have bad luck, Shiki. If only you'd killed some other girl other than me, things never would have ended up like this. Hey, in the first place, you can't just assume I'd kill someone other than you. I've only felt like that, stalked and killed only once, only Arcuid. Or I want to think she'd be the only one. Ah, Did you remember something you forgot? No, that's not it. I never really thought about it before, but I just wondered why I wanted to kill you. Arcuid frowns as she looks at me. Well, it is a natural reaction. I, the one who killed Arcuid, is saying that he doesn't know why he killed her. There's no reason at all, right? Because you're just a born killer, Shiki. Eh? Hold on. What did this woman just say about me? You seemed really used to it when you attacked me. You rang the doorbell, put your hand through the door as it opened, and entered. While I was still off guard with surprise, you killed me with your first strike, and just finished off by slicing me into pieces. Yeah, your surprise attack was perfect. How perfect was it? A painting of you from that time would have been an unparalleled masterpiece. That's how perfect it was. She's like, I'm pissed that you killed me, but can't help but respect the game a little bit. But no matter how superb a killer, no matter how excellent your technique, the victim this time was a poor choice. I don't know how many people you've killed until now, but I think it was time for you to be caught when you chose me as your prey. What's with that scary face all of a sudden? If you want to say something, it's better to just say it. We've never held anything back between us, right? That's maybe true. I nod and motion her to come near me with my hand. Huh? A secret? Arcuid approaches excitedly. I bring my mouth close to her ear and clearly state what I want to say. You know, Arcuid. Yeah, what? Okay, ready? That's not it at all, you idiot! Idiot, idiot, idiot. My shout echoes through the room. I strike her eardrums with full power, not holding back one bit. Ow! Owie! Arcuid exaggeratedly covers her ears. I'm ticked off now. What are you doing all of a sudden, Shiki? I'm the one who should be angry. I was wondering why you were asking me all these impossible things, but now I understand. Eh? Understand what? About you asking me to be a shield against a monster and watching over you, because you think I'm some crazed killer. Geez, you're unbelievably mistaken. You thought so highly of me because of that. Look, I'll tell you right now. I'm not a killer or a homicidal maniac. You were the first person I've killed. Arcuat's mouth hangs open. Damn, she really does seem totally surprised. No way. It was your first time, yet you were that skilled? Yeah, certainly I do have the strange eyes, but I still lived an honest life. I never even thought once of using these lines to kill people. But then why did you kill me? You never even saw me before. I don't know why either. I just became so fixated when I saw you on the street. When I came to, I had already sliced you into pieces. In this room, without reason, without purpose. I see. Yeah, I see. I don't have any right to be angry at Arcuat, even if she's alive right now and isn't human. The truth is, I killed her with my own hands. Why are you all quiet again? What do you mean, Shiki? I'm sorry, I have to apologize. Why did I conveniently forget such an important thing? I'm sorry, Arcuat. I, Tohno Shiki, killed you. More than anything else, I should have apologized for that from the very beginning. There really is something wrong with me. It's only natural that she mistook me for a killer, because I don't even understand that impulse myself. So maybe Tohno Shiki might be a real killer. The reality is I killed you, so I have to accept my sin and punishment. A killer like me can't mix in with the rest of society. Not realizing such an important thing until now is just too cowardly. No matter what Arcuat is, I am someone who kills for no reason. I see. Then you really don't understand why yourself, Shiki. I nod silently. Then you didn't feel any enjoyment? Yes, certainly there are those killers for whom killing is like breathing, but you really are normal. That's right. At least, I try to be. No, you are incredibly normal. Then I was the only one you wanted to kill? Yeah, other than you. I've never felt like that before. She's like, gee, I don't know whether to be flattered or pissed about that. I see. Then there's no problem. You're not a killer, Shiki. She says this lightly, almost dismissively. I don't think you have to receive any punishment. By chance, I was the one you wanted to kill, and worse, you were equipped with this unparalleled killing technique. But luckily I'm a vampire, so no one died, right? So you don't need to be troubled so much. I don't think you have to worry about those morals of human society. Right now, the only ones who can condemn you are me, the victim, and you, yourself. That may be so, but it doesn't change the fact that I killed you. Right, even if there's no punishment, the sin will never disappear. Of course, even now I still resent it, so it would be troubling if you just forgot. But you know, Shiki, if you feel that way and will always regret it, then I don't think there will be a problem. But that's just sugarcoating it. Shiki, there really are people who will not sell their souls to the devil even if they hated the world. Like someone so honest that they could apologize to a vampire. So I think it's alright. No matter what people say, no matter how much you say you're not, you can still stay in the world you want to live in. I'm speechless. How can you smile and say that to the person who killed you? Arcuat. Come on, we have a much more troublesome problem to worry about. Now that you're up, Shiki, I want to continue our conversation from before. That's right. More important than my own situation, I have to know about Arcuat and what happened at the hotel. That's right. Arcuat, can I ask about the hotel from yesterday? Fine, but we don't have to stay standing. Shiki, if your body isn't quite fully adjusted, maybe you should lie down. Idiot, you're the one who should be lying down. Isn't daytime hard for you? Don't worry about me. Lie down and we can talk. It's okay. I finally have a chance to talk to you, so it'd be a waste if it wasn't face to face. Arcuat smiles faintly and looks directly at me. Well, if you say you're fine, then I don't care either way. After briefly looking away, I sit on the bed. Arcuat imitates me and sits on a sofa. Well, I'll ask then. The guy last night, the one you called Nervensker, just what the hell is he? I'm being serious here, so please don't say something like he's a magician who can make crocodiles appear from his body. I won't say that. I think you know this already, but he's also a vampire. We call him Nervensker, and he's quite an exception. To tell the truth, he isn't someone you could talk to so casually like this. So he was a vampire after all, but for some reason, like Arcuat standing in front of me, or sitting in front of me, he doesn't match my image of a vampire. So, this Nervensker, what kind of guy is he? You seem to know him or something. Of course not. I don't have any vampire acquaintances. Knowing them means I'm going to kill them the next instant. This is the first time I've ever met a vampire without killing it. But you guys were talking about a lot of things. It'd be hasty to call him an acquaintance because of that. Nervansker is a famous vampire, so no introductions were necessary when we met, that's all. Isn't it natural to know the name of vampires with unusual powers and a long history? Among those, Nervansker stands out even more. Despite being one of the oldest vampires, he is neither a castle nor territory and is an eccentric wanderer. The church has given him a second name, Chaos. Chaos? What's that? Literally squirming, squelching chaos, like a primordial earth where no one knows what will fly out after the mixing of various things. A meaning, I'm guessing, from last night. Not knowing what will fly out? Jeez, you saw his body too, Shiki. We spoke of it earlier, but aged vampires cannot easily regenerate damage to their bodies. To restore the body after centuries of existence, the weak life of a human isn't enough. So, using the simply more superior life forms, wild animals and magic beasts, as raw material, they compose their bodies. As one of the oldest vampires, Nervansker probably is in a league of his own regarding the sheer amount of beasts he has caught and used for his body. A league of his own? Things like those black dogs are part of his body then? Exactly, but there is a limit to a human's capacity. Probably only about 30 beasts can be controlled at once. Having more than one illusionary beast, such as a magical or phantom beast, would overload one's capacity. Putting that into consideration, all of his familiars are probably real animals. Yeah, that may be fortunate. I don't quite get the last part, but it means that there's 30 of those black dogs. No, that can't be right. Black dogs weren't the only things rampaging in the hotel. I think there were things like lions and leopards, too. Right, to be able to bring together 30 animals of the same type is one thing, but for Nervansker to have different beasts in his body truly places the strength of his willpower apart from others. Well, it does seem odd that if he has that sort of power, he would only use wild animals. I would have thought he'd employ more magical beasts with his sort of willpower. Arcuate descends deep into thought. Whatever. Anyway, we at least know his weapons are 20 or 30 familiars, so now we can understand why he's called Chaos. Eh? His name really isn't Chaos? Yeah, most long-lived dead apostles don't use their names from their human lives, but they don't make up a new name themselves. The church assigns them one. They add on names as they find new special characteristics of the vampire, so some of them have names as long as spells. And I guess the church must have really hated him to name him Chaos. It would have been enough for one lion to hunt the entire hotel, right? But he let loose all of his beasts to feed, meaning he seems to enjoy such excesses. 30 beasts inside the vampire Nervansker. Just with that, he killed and ate without trace 100 people at the hotel in 30 minutes. Can't believe it. He's a complete monster. Yes, he really is the worst opponent I could have at the moment. He's one of those you never want to meet. But what's worse is that such a guy knows where we are. Even now, I'm sure his familiars are watching us. What? Isn't it obvious? We were saved earlier because the sun rose, but we can't count on that tonight. He knows of this place, so he'll certainly come to kill us at the height of his power at midnight. Come to kill us? Tonight? Yes, he said so himself. What is this? That man in the black coat is coming tonight? I don't know what I should say. I should escape. I know that's the wisest decision. But Arcuate is in this condition. Even if she ran away, I don't think she could escape from that monster. No, less about her and more about me. If I stay here, if I stay involved with Arcuate, there's no mistaking the fact I'll face him. He is dangerous. Clearly put, he is insane. More than his body, which houses those animals. His eyes are like a machine's, devoid of even a single emotion. The true eyes of a killer, which does whatever it is assigned to do. As one who's experienced his attack, I'm sure that without a doubt, he is to be avoided. But does that mean I should just leave Arcuate here and run away? No matter who she is, she can't move because she protected me. And I can tell her good luck and go home? Arcuate, But it's alright. Even Nervansker isn't a problem for you. No matter who it is, you can kill anyone with a single blow. Huh? Arcuate says something outrageous, as if it were completely ordinary. Hey, what in the world are you saying? What am I saying? You're going to fight with me, right? Arcuate looks directly at me, but there's a choice to be like, nah. Her eyes place all trust in me, but this isn't a joke. Hey, okay. Shoot, what is my choice, actually? Okay, so I totally can turn her down. This is hilarious. Oh, I wonder if this is the moment where it's going to like branch out a little bit more because it's been following kind of the same story for the most part so far. But like at some point, it's going to, this might be the moment where she's like, okay, screw you then. I refuse. I can't stand up to that monster. She told me to be her shield and watch over her while she sleeps, but I couldn't even do that well. Even if I were to fight with her, I would probably just get in the way. Arcuid, sorry, but I can't. He's too different. Even if I fought him, I wouldn't be able to scratch him. What? Really? I'm not sure where she gets it from, but she tilts her head as if doubting me. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but I can't do it. Our promise was just for me to watch over you for one night. I love all this talk before about how he has to make up for his sins, and he's just like, no, but he's too scary, though, so I'm going to go back on that. I don't want to have anything more to do with that monster. It may be too late. Nervensker met you. Even if you were no longer with me, I don't think he'd leave you alone. So maybe I do have to hang out with her after all. She's be like, would you rather deal with him yourself or at least be with me when this happens? She speaks lightly, as if discussing some third party. What? I blurt out, and then I understand. That vampire Nervensker is the one killing people in this town. There's no reason for him to leave me alone once I saw his face. But I am faster than Nervensker. He cannot move during the day, and you're right in front of me, so it's overwhelmingly in my favor. What do you mean? Hey, she's like, you're gonna be my meat shield. Oh, nothing. I was just thinking if you're gonna run away, I would just kill you here. Arcuid smiles as she jokes around, but she also seems serious. Ugh. Her smile doesn't fade. She really does seem intent on coercing me. So it looks like I have to stick with her anyway. You devil. I'm trapped. If I'm going to be attacked either way, then there's no other choice but to help Arcuid. I look up at the ceiling and take a deep breath. Fortunately, that prepares me just a bit for what's to come. Okay, I'm ready. Come to think of it, there was no running away from the time I met you. Coming this far, I guess I have no choice but to go all the way. Okay, so this is during the fight. We're skipping ahead to when I'm actually fighting him, so now we're going to dash towards him. I feel like last time I said it was too early, but we'll see what happens this time. Oh, okay, so it's exactly the same then. Okay, so we bear with it for now and wait for my chance. Okay, so this is different. I'll bear with it for now. Even if I recklessly attack Nervensker, these beasts would get in the way. For now, I have to bear them and wait for an opening to... I get struck in the back from behind. Did one of the black dogs just ram me with its head? Anyhow, my spine creaks, and I can't breathe. Ah, both my thighs are punctured by canine teeth. Ah, I pierce their foreheads audibly with my knife. The two dogs dissolve like mud, leaving only burning pain behind in my legs. The beasts are not uncontrolled. Even though they could pick me apart in a single instant if they wanted to, they circle themselves around me and come to feed one at a time. There is no opening at all. Ah, my body collapses, not even being able to breathe properly, not even being able to stand from the pain in my legs. I fall flat on my back. I am quite the fastidious person. Rest assured, there will be not even one of your cells left. I hear a voice. At that same time, a black dome arches over me. Okay, so this has already happened. So I guess we just won the fight. I just skipped everything. I'm exhausted. I collapse onto the ground. I fall on my rear and try to keep my body up with my hands. My right hand finally lets go of the knife. Cold. I'm cold. The pain is numbed. It feels almost comfortable. My body is ripped with canine bite marks and beak marks. Well, there's no mistake that I'll probably die like this. Shiki, Arcuid's voice. Run! You're getting targeted. Arcuid shouts as she dashes towards me. Eh? I stare up at the night sky as I sit. There, I see the white moon and the figure of a blue crow. It screams as it falls straight toward me. It drops down to pierce my brain with its sharp beak. I try to stand up to escape, but my body is at its limit. I try to stand, but only end up collapsing onto the ground. Because I fell on my back, I get a disturbingly clear view of the crow. It dives just like a bullet towards my face, and with the sound of sliced flesh, it dies right before my eyes. That's Ciel, right? The blue crow was impaled, yep, by a flying nail, which looks like a large sword. It had to have come from somewhere above. I look up at the night sky. There is the white moon. And there's someone dressed in black priest-like garments. I can't remember if Ciel at this point, might be happening earlier than the last playthrough. I feel like she didn't show up like this until later, but I could be mistaken. The figure stands on a street light and stares down at me. And again, I am on day 4, so maybe she did show up at this point. I can't remember. Despite just being almost killed, I vacantly think that those high-laced boots look really cool. The figure doesn't say anything. The emotionless eyes resemble the sharp moonlight. Resembles? The figure really resembles Senpai. My mind swims. Caw, the crow's death cry. And I close my eyes quietly. I keep bleeding. In my groggy state, I can hear Arcuid and someone else arguing. I cannot leave it to you. I will heal him. A horribly hostile voice. Don't do anything you shouldn't. No. Yeah, she showed up. I think it was when I was like over by the mansion or something and I got attacked by Roa. So yeah, I think she showed up like way later in the last playthrough. And like we didn't see any interactions with Arcuid and Ciel for a while. Don't do anything you shouldn't. This is mine, so it doesn't concern you. Arcuid sounds the same too. She sounds the same, but I wish she wouldn't selfishly make me her object. Yes, this certainly does not concern me right now. However, I do not think you can heal such wounds. All you can do is watch him die. Or, do you intend on making this young man one of your subordinates? Arcuid Brunstad. Do you think I'd do such a thing? I can hear more than hostility in their voices. There's so much tension that I expect another fight to the death to start. Then please be quiet. With those wounds, he cannot last long. I really hate you. You should just disappear before I kill you. I really hate you as well. You don't need to tell me anything. I plan on leaving once his wounds are healed. You yourself should disappear before I kill you. I can't stand seeing you around. A conversation full of tension and hostility. My mind goes totally blank. Hard. Yeah, it's hard. I feel something hard against my back, and it causes me to wake with a start. Huh? Arcuid? I look around. I'm in the park lying on a bench. I look at the park's clock, and it's past 1 in the morning. I guess it hasn't even been 1 hour since I don't think has spent one night, and maybe this was in the last playthrough for the most part, but really this one, day 4, he has not spent one night at home. Like, Akia's got to be losing her shit every night that he just keeps coming in from like random places and she has no idea where he's been. Arcuid looks at me wordlessly, or maybe it's more like a glare. Arcuid? Arcuid doesn't respond. I don't know why, but she seems really angry. There. For now, I stand up. Oh, my wounds are healed. I was so bloody and cut up, but there isn't a single scar anywhere. There isn't any pain either, as if my fight with Nervensker was all a dream. But that was no dream. Then this must be... Arcuid, don't tell me you used another part of Nervensker's body again. No, unfortunately not. It would have been a quick fix, and you would have gotten stronger with it too. But since you killed him completely, we can no longer use his body. Really? I guess you healed me in another way then. Wow, I really am back to normal. I don't feel pain or dizziness. Just how in the world did you do it, Arcuid? I don't know. I wasn't the one who healed you. She exclaims this and looks away, displeased. It seems that that's the reason, but if she wasn't the one to heal me, then who did? Ah, there was another person. Someone who helped me. That woman in black garments who resembled Senpai far too much. Arcuid, where was that person from before? Still looking displeased, she looks away and ignores me. Hey, Arcuid, I'm asking you, what happened to the person from before? I don't know. I didn't see anyone. She turns away and pretends not to know anything. Hey, you just said you weren't the one who helped me. If it wasn't you, then who else could have done it? Oh, enough already. I said I don't know, so I don't know. Oh, it seems she's taking it out on me. In the first place, why are you so interested in that person? It doesn't have anything to do with you, right? Idiot, there is something. It was dark. I couldn't really tell, but that person looked like someone I know. It's just a coincidence. Just forget about that person. If you talk about it again in front of me, I'll get really mad. Ending quickly, she looks away. Yeah, if I decide to, like, side with Ciel or, you know, go with her romance, I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna get on Arcuid's bad side a little bit. Why are you so angry? I should be the one getting angry. I just want to know who the person from before was, that's all. Fine, I got it. I won't ask anymore. Besides, our partnership ends here anyway. Eh? Isn't it obvious? We defeated the vampire who did as he pleased in this town, so my responsibility's gone now. I have to get back home soon or Akia will yell at me. I think it's about time to cut it off, Arcuid. You're right. Now that you mention it, it is already this late, too. Arcuid nods. Is that it? Like, that's it? And then we never see each other again. Alright. I also nod in understanding. I nodded out of understanding, but there's still something lingering, as if I regret parting with her. It's ridiculous. She's a vampire, and I'm a normal human. If I associated with her anymore, something will happen that I can't take back. Bye, Arcuid. Raising a hand, I step away. There was a lot of horrible things that happened, but it was pretty fun, too. So, take care of yourself. Yeah, it is late, and you have to go back home. Good night. Till next time, Shiki. I think she just said something odd. I try to say this is the last time, idiot, but I stop myself. Well, there are a lot of problems, but she is quite an interesting person. I speak as if trying to convince myself, but it's the truth. So even if it is just once in a while, I feel like if by some chance we got to meet again, it wouldn't be a bad thing. I return to the mansion. It's about 2 in the morning, and there's not a single light on in the mansion. I have to sneak in. I climb over the fence and enter the garden. Fortunately, the door is open, and I'm able to enter inside without waking anyone. I get back to my room and take a deep breath. It's over. I truly feel all the events these past 3 days, all the strange things, are actually finished. Well then, time for bed. I sink my tired body into bed and fall asleep. Or, at least, I intended to. But I just can't sleep. My mind and body are tired, but I can't stop thinking about that figure, and I can't sleep. It couldn't have been Senpai, but she resembles Senpai so much. I couldn't get a good look at her face, so I can't say for sure. So I think it's just my mistake. Tomorrow, I'll ask her at school. Yeah, that's right. I could see her at school anytime, so I'll ask her then. Then she can just say, that wasn't me, and it'll all be alright. Alright, that's what I'll do. Decided. Now then, if I could just read a boring book, I'll probably fall asleep. Okay, this is new. Immortality. If those words are to be a grand reality, it would be one of the things which would define eternity. But, in reality, nothing in existence has reached that level. For example, those vampires occasionally spoken of in legends are not immortal. After all, they're defective because they require stealing from others to exist. This has got to be from Ciel's point of view, I'm guessing. Furthermore, the fact that their supplemental parts have to be of the same species, in this case generally referring to humans, means that they're not versatile at all. They call themselves the transcendent race, but that's not evolution, it's degeneration. That which cannot function independently in perpetuity cannot be called eternal. It's presumptuous to call something immortal if it depends on others to halt its aging. There already exists something close to perfection which can function independently in perpetuity. It feeds on itself and multiplies. That's like a virus or maybe what are those things called? Like there's like some sort of, is it like a oh my gosh, like a tardigrade or something like that. It's like a little guy. He's just like a little bug looking guy that apparently those things are like immortal. Now I want to look it up. Yeah, so I was actually, yeah, so a tardigrade. They're like, they just look like just little guys, like a little bug. They have a powerful adaptation that allows them to survive for decades in extreme conditions. So not immortal, but sort of. Anyway, sorry, I got off track. Okay. Old cells become food as nutrients and new cells are produced from it, such as a jellyfish. Yeah, okay, yeah, jellyfish, that's another example, something that could be seen as immortal. However, it is perpetual only because it has no intelligence. If having no intelligence is fine, then it's no different from gaining eternity by death. If you want to be eternal living, if you want to be eternal living as a human, it's impossible by the method of immortality. Long years destroy the body and wear away flexibility of the mind. Immortality or eternity. I have no attachment to stained immortality. Persistently maintaining individuality makes eternity unattainable. Instead of gaining immortality as a single human, I chose the infinity in which I continue to exist eternally. I see, certainly a different approach than I. However, with your method, will you not lose eternity at the extinction of the human race? Your method always requires an unborn child other than yourself. Okay, this is a whole lot to take in right now. Yes, this is true. But if no other humans existed, I would not be able to confirm my own self. So, if humans become extinct, then continuing to live would be worthless. At that point, my immortality would end. I don't understand your theory. It's far from the theories of eternity, serpent. No, it is eternity. When a time comes to perish, everything should perish. If observers cease to exist, then that means everything is unchanging. A serpent, is this Roa? Because I guess Roa kind of is immortal. He just keeps putting himself, like, regenerating into other people's bodies, or like reincarnating himself. The eternity I embody is temporary until that time occurs. I cannot turn everything into nothingness. Therefore, I will continue living until it happens. Although I have found yet another amusement. Is that why you called me? Yes, I'll show you a mystic method which allows you to slightly shape what's inside of you. There's something I wish for you to catch using this achievement from the Age of the Gods, Chaos. Okay, so maybe it's Roa talking to Chaos? Huh, okay. Alright, everybody, so that's gonna do it for this episode. So, yeah, a lot more of the same kind of stuff as in the Arcuate route. I was kind of hoping that she wouldn't have forgiven Shiki so quickly, especially because the choices I made in this one, it seemed like I was just fighting against her to try and help her, but I ended up helping her anyway. But yeah, the whole thing at the end, I assume, who was that? Was that like Roa and Nerveskar talking to each other? A little bit more hints of Ciel. And I don't know, maybe after this one, like he said he was gonna talk to Ciel the next day, so maybe we're just gonna be hanging out with her more. But yeah, I'm excited to get kind of more of like the Ciel-centered content, because I do seem to be pretty attached to Arcuate still, as usual. But yeah, I imagine like eventually we're gonna be hanging out with Ciel more often. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned next week for episode 12. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Revealing Storm, Lindsay VA, Lunar, Kenju Storm, and Icognito.